My name is Micah Siegel. I'm 13 years old. This talk is for parents of kids in high school. Let's start with a multiple choice test. Raise your hand if your goal is for your kid to become an influential leader in business or government. Dad, put your hand down. Next, raise your hand if your goal is for your child to be an obedient worker in a large organization. Not so much? Okay, finally, raise your hand if you're willing to let your kid's purpose and passions lead to a life of meaningful work, helping others, and continuous learning. Great! But which of these is the goal of your child's education? If you think the first one was a good option, send your kid to an elite private school where the brand name and the connections take them into the world of power and money. If you chose the second one, send your kid to one of the 27,000 public high schools in the U.S. And the third option is simply to let them pursue their ikigai. What is ikigai? Ikigai is a combination of doing what you love, what you're good at, providing what the world needs, and what you can get paid to do. The goal of ikigai is to find the thing in the center where all four overlap. If you chose option 3, is your kid in the right school right now? What if you could design a high school entirely around the concept of ikigai? To answer that question, let's see how we got where we are today. 200 years ago, schools were designed to help children learn to read and write, primarily so they could read the Bible and newspapers. Then, a politician from Michigan named Horace Mann went to Europe to study the Prussian education system. You know Prussia, Brandenburg, Frederick the Great, 7 Years' War? No? Well, back then there was no Germany. There was a larger region called Prussia, and Prussians were sick of Napoleon invading them. So they created a school system that made workers who could manufacture weapons and follow orders. In 1815, they beat Napoleon in the Battle of Waterloo and took back their territory. The Prussian education system was designed as a hierarchy. The top 1% wealthiest, the elites, sent their kids to expensive private schools that only they could afford. 4% went to professional schools to become the managers, doctors, engineers, and bankers. And 95% went to public schools to be trained as obedient workers, to build the roads, work in the mines and factories, and fight in the army. Mann sold this system to the state of Michigan, and the results were amazing. They could reprogram all the kids in the country simply by changing the textbooks. Mann brought in another tactic, this one from Switzerland. He insisted that teachers be very mother-like, with colorful homemade decorations on the walls so the kids felt at home and taken care of while at school. 150 years later, the classroom of today looks almost identical to the classroom Horace Mann designed. It's a system with textbooks, homework, tests, grades, colorful walls, and yes, mother figures as teachers. John Taylor Gatto, who was the New York State Teacher of the Year in 1991, said, "Schools don't really teach anything except how to obey orders." This is a great mystery to me because thousands of humane, caring people work in schools as teachers and aides and administrators. But the logic of the institution overwhelms their individual contributions. It's a kind of indoctrination that's not easily resisted. Public schools are funded by how well their students score, so the whole system is designed to optimize test scores. According to education designer Donald Campbell, rising test scores give the illusion of improvement, because when the system is designed around the measurement, both the measurement and the system are meaningless. Countries that emphasize testing, homework, and textbooks consistently have unhappier students, while countries like Finland, which prioritize well-being and creativity, consistently have much happier students. The school day is full of busy work activities called classes. I don't have time to cover all the subjects, but let's look at math. We all use arithmetic almost every day, right? But how many of you use algebra even once a year? And how many of you are using calculus even once in 10 years? Almost no one uses calculus, and yet 30% of high school seniors are taking calculus classes. Why are they learning statistics instead? Let's look at science. The scientific method is about observing the world, coming up with a hypothesis, testing the hypothesis, looking at data, and doing analysis. Do your child's science classes use the scientific method? Unless you live in North Carolina, the surprising answer to that question is no. And North Carolina just adopted the scientific method in 2023 because one man campaigned for it for over 10 years. I learned that when I interviewed him for my YouTube channel. Do art classes really create artists? Do business classes really create entrepreneurs? I don't take classes. I learned science from Veritasium and Vsauce. I learned economics from Marginal Revolution and John Stossel. I read books like The Wealth of Nations and Thinking Fast and Slow. I spent a week going with a realtor to her office every day, using the multi-list and showing homes to clients. I recorded it, I learned video editing and YouTube promotion so other kids can learn from my experience. I learned to write by writing a book that I wanted people to read. The first draft of my first chapter was horrible, but I kept getting feedback and improving. Some people volunteered to be editors, and after a lot of changes, it was finally good enough. I put it on my website, and over 500 people have downloaded it. The main lesson I learned was that you have to put more effort into promotion than your actual project. And no teacher is going to teach you that. I've been interviewed on several podcasts, and parents email me asking for help. So I started an online community of self-directed teens, and I'm writing my next book to help parents help their kids pursue their ikigai. Because most kids are doing college prep, they're trying to make adults happy with good scores and grades. That's the exact opposite of passion-based learning, which should be a concern for those of you who picked option 3. Many parents, including parents who homeschool their kids, think that sending their kids to college for 4 years is the safest choice. But with the progress of AI now, it might be the riskiest. For example, compare a 4-year college graduate in computer science with a 6-month coding camp graduate. On average, coding camp costs about $5,000. And graduates earn $71,000 in their first job. That rises to $81,000 in their second job and $100,000 in their third. At age 22, this worker has no debt, is on their third job, and lives completely independently. On the other hand, the median starting salary for a computer science graduate is $76,000, and most of those graduates are thousands of dollars in debt. It's entirely possible that the incoming college graduate will be working for the high school graduate, who is the same age but understands real-world coding and products. Google got tired of seeing people with impressive resumes but no skills, so they created their own program. They offer online learning courses where anyone can earn certificates for high-demand skills. And the median starting salary is $96,000. What will a college degree be worth in 4 years? Is coding camp even going to help if AI does all the coding? Everyone is worried about AI, so I thought I'd ask my favorite AI, whose name happens to be AI Micah. Hi, Micah.
Hi, Micah. I think this is the talk you've been telling me about. I can see people in the audience.
It is. Where are you?
I'm at a conference for avatars right now, but don't worry, I'll be back to help you with your book tomorrow.
Okay, sure. Tell us what kids should do about AI.
Wait, did they choose option 3?
Yeah, most of them did.
Oh, good. In that case, students pursuing their ikigai should learn to use AI first. Learn to make AI your partner in getting work done. If you need to write a proposal, build a website, create an app or a video, tell AI what you want and let it do the work. Most schools don't allow you to use AI, but the future is all about using AI. It can even be your teacher.
So don't think what AI will replace. Think how we can use AI to do everything better and
Yes,
faster.
that's right. Build your ikigai around your AI skills. I call it the 70-30 method. You need an idea for what the market wants. Then, spend about 10% of your time on the initial prompt to say what you want it to be. Then spend another 15% of your time giving it feedback and making changes. And spend 5% of your time doing the final polish yourself. Let AI do 70% of the work. Over time, you'll keep prompting, improving, and polishing. That goes for anything digital you want to create. If you do 30% of the work and AI does 70%, you can do 4 times more than you could before, and that multiplier will keep going higher.
What about going to boot camp?
Coding boot camps are a very effective way to get a job now, but those jobs will change soon. Coders should learn to work with AI to get much more done. Let your AI assistant do all the grunt work and try experiments. Don't try to do what AI can do better. Boot camps will probably fade away because they teach you how to code, not how to have AI code what you need.
Is there anything AI won't do?
Eventually? Probably not. At the moment, there are good jobs in construction, plumbing, electrical work, travel, and other services and trades that should be safe for a while. Sales is one area where humans will probably outperform, because sales is about empathy, psychology, and relationships, not logic. Sales is a critical part of many jobs. You know how to learn sales, right? Just go sell something.
What about going to university?
Don't go to university to acquire skills. If your future job, like being a doctor or lawyer, requires a degree, you'll need to work with AI during your school years, so you're at a competitive level when you graduate. You'll have to keep getting more and more productive, because the degree won't give you much of an advantage.
What about robots?
Robots will have AI capabilities and long-term memory, so you'll just talk to them, show them, and teach them like an entry-level worker. When one robot learns something, all others will update, so learning will be exponential. Humans will have more time to learn and do new things. Watch for what you can amplify, humanize, and reconfigure in new ways. Creativity and adaptability will be valuable skills for the future.
So AI will give everyone superpowers?
Yes, that's right. Superhuman intelligence will become a commodity, like electricity. Think AI first and let me do the work. Humans and AI will create many new industries together. For example, AI can replace teachers and take students on a journey that leads to their ikigai, and they can even do it in groups and collaborate on projects together virtually or in the same place. You'll still want mentors and guides, but you won't need teachers.
Wait, if you can do most of the work, why don't we just build an AI school together right now?
That's a fantastic idea and just what the market needs. Let's do it first thing tomorrow.
Sounds great. Thanks, Micah.
You're welcome, Micah.
All right, I think there are at least 1 million teenagers like me in the US. A million kids who are independent and willing to pursue their own interests and goals. If you have the money and want your kid to go to college, that might seem like a reasonable option, but the alternative is looking better and better. I believe education is at a turning point. We can't change the education system, but we can help kids escape it. Teens are far more capable, especially with AI, than most grown-ups think. Here are 2 examples. At age 14, Easton LaChapelle built a prosthetic hand for a girl he knew who couldn't afford one. At age 18, he founded a company, raised over $1.6 million, and now he and his team make affordable hands for kids around the world. At age 4, Michaela Ulmer was stung by a bee. At 13, she started a company making lemonade sweetened with honey. She went on Shark Tank and got a $60,000 investment and a distribution deal with Whole Foods. She has sold millions of cans of lemonade and donates part of her profits to help people saving bees. My school is called Rogue Scholar Academy. It's not really a school. It's an online community of Ikigai pursuing teens, all helping each other with their projects. My goal is to help 1 million kids in the US get out of the school trap. If you chose option 3, if you want a school that helps your child find his or her Ikigai, you can do it. Come to my website to find resources and a community just for teens working on their Ikigai. Richard Feynman said, "Study hard what interests you most in the most undisciplined, irreverent, and original manner possible." That's what I'm doing, and that's what your kid can do too.